Welcome to Bills Nation Daily, your ultimate daily dose of everything Buffalo Bills. Hit that subscribe button and join the most passionate Bills fans as we break down all the latest news, highlights, and game analysis. Go Bills! In what might be one of the most shocking turns in recent NFL history, the Buffalo Bills have reportedly pulled off the impossible, landing superstar wide receiver TYREEK in what sources are already calling the biggest signing in franchise history. Yeah, you heard that right. Tyreek Hill, the cheetah himself, the same guy who's been terrorizing secondaries with his unreal speed and jaw-dropping agility, is set to don the blue and red of Buffalo. The rumor started swirling late last night after a series of cryptic posts from players, agents, and insiders hinted that a blockbuster move was on the horizon. Bills fans immediately went into a frenzy, flooding social media with wild theories, memes, and pure disbelief. After all, for years the Bills have been searching for that missing piece to finally push them over the top in the AFC. Josh Allen has been phenomenal, no doubt, but adding a player like TYREEK could completely change the dynamic of that offense. Imagine defenses trying to handle Allen's cannon of an arm and Hill's explosive speed. Just thinking about it gives defensive coordinators nightmares. And if this rumor turns out to be true, it's not just a big move, it's a league-altering earthquake. The whispers around league insiders suggest that the deal didn't just happen overnight. Apparently, the Bills' front office has been quietly working behind the scenes for weeks, maybe even months, to make this dream scenario a reality. Reports say that General Manager Brandon Beane has been in constant contact with Hill's camp, testing the waters, understanding the financials, and assessing how this massive acquisition could fit within their salary cap. What's even more fascinating is how little anyone outside the organization seemed to know about it. Usually, with names as big as TYREEK Hill's, leaks happen early and often, but this time, Buffalo kept things tighter than Fort Knox. Maybe it was a lesson learned from past negotiations gone wrong, or maybe it was just perfect timing. The Dolphins were reportedly facing some tension with Hill behind the scenes, perhaps due to frustrations about offensive usage or contract structure, and that may have opened the door for the Bills to swoop in. If this is truly happening, it's a chess move that shows Buffalo isn't just thinking about winning their division. They're going all in for a Super Bowl run. Social media has been absolutely on fire since the rumor hit. Fans of the Bills are losing their minds in the best possible way, flooding X, formerly Twitter, with posts celebrating what they're calling the dawn of a new dynasty. Videos of TYREEK's highlights in Kansas City and Miami are being remixed with Bills Mafia chants, snow-covered end zones, and Josh Allen's rocket throws. But not everyone is happy about it. Dolphins fans are absolutely melting down, calling it betrayal, heartbreak, and a total gut punch to their playoff hopes. Meanwhile, neutral fans across the league are stunned, questioning how this could even happen under the cap. Did Buffalo pull off some kind of financial magic? Did Hill take a pay cut for a shot at another ring? Nobody knows yet, but the theories are endless. What's clear is that this rumor has captured the imagination of football fans everywhere. If true, it's not just a signing. It's the biggest statement the Bills could possibly make heading into the next season, signaling that they're done coming close. They want the Lombardi, and they're bringing the cheetah to get it. Inside sources claim that Josh Allen himself played a key role in the recruitment process. Apparently, the two have been in touch privately for a while, exchanging messages about teaming up and chasing greatness. Imagine those conversations. Allen probably pitching the idea of creating the fastest, most unstoppable offense in the league, while TYREEK, ever the competitor, couldn't resist the idea of becoming the final piece in a championship puzzle. There's even talk that Allen flew to Miami during the offseason, under the radar, to meet Hill in person and talk about unfinished business. If that's true, it shows the level of commitment and leadership Allen brings to the table. This isn't just a quarterback trying to improve his numbers. This is a franchise player going all out to make sure his team finally gets that ring. And if TYREEK was even slightly on the fence, that kind of passion might have been what sealed the deal. It's not every day a quarterback of Allen's caliber personally pitches you on a shared legacy, and it sounds like Hill bought into the vision. The financial details remain murky, but early rumors suggest this could be a deal that breaks all previous Bills records. We're talking massive guaranteed money, a signing bonus that could rival any in the league, and maybe even some unique incentives tied to postseason performance. It's hard to imagine how Buffalo pulled it off given their current cap situation, but insiders hint that a few restructures and possibly a big veteran trade are already in motion to make space. It's bold, it's risky, but it's exactly the kind of aggressive move championship teams make. And honestly, that's what separates the contenders from the pretenders. For too long, Buffalo's been almost there, a powerhouse that always found itself one step short. Bringing in TYREEK Hill could be the spark that finally turns those heartbreaks into history. If there's one thing fans love more than winning, it's seeing their front office go all in. Right now, Bills Mafia isn't just celebrating, they're believing again. Believing that the future isn't just bright, it's blindingly fast. And let's not overlook what this means for the AFC landscape. With Hill now potentially lining up in Buffalo, the balance of power could shift dramatically. The Chiefs may have adjusted to life without him, but his presence in Buffalo would reignite one of the fiercest rivalries in recent memory. Imagine the playoff rematches, Allen versus Mahomes, this time with Hill wearing blue. It's poetic, almost cinematic. The entire conference could feel the ripple effects. Defensive coordinators will have to rethink everything they thought they knew about stopping Buffalo. Even Stephon Diggs' role might evolve, freeing him to exploit mismatches while Hill stretches the field. The possibilities are endless, and the hype is already reaching fever pitch. But as much as fans want to believe it, we're still waiting for that official confirmation. Until then, this remains the most electrifying rumor of the year, a story that feels too wild to be true, yet too perfect to dismiss. If it happens, this will go down as the moment the Bills change their destiny forever. The buzz surrounding this potential move hasn't slowed down one bit. In fact, every hour seems to bring a new layer of intrigue. Some insiders claim that TYREEK Hill has already been seen in Buffalo, while others swear he's still in Miami, keeping quiet and letting the storm build. Either way, the NFL world is on edge. This is the kind of rumor that transcends normal transaction talk. It's become a cultural event. Sports talk shows are devoting entire segments to it. Analysts are debating the impact, the fit, and the sheer audacity of such a move. And the fans? They're living for it. You can almost feel the pulse of the football world vibrating with anticipation. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, everyone's tuned in, waiting for that one verified post that makes it official. Because if it drops, if the Bills really did land TYREEK Hill, the reverberations will echo through every corner of the league. It's the type of headline that rewrites expectations, flips narratives, and sends shockwaves through every rival locker room. Behind closed doors, one can only imagine the energy inside the Bills facility right now. Picture it. The front office buzzing with secrecy, staff walking the halls with knowing smiles, players texting each other in disbelief. You can bet that guys like Stephon Diggs, Dalton Kincaid, and James Cook are already visualizing what this offense could look like. A three-headed monster led by Josh Allen, with Hill blowing past safeties and Diggs torching corners. It's a defensive coordinator's worst nightmare. The synergy between these offensive weapons could redefine modern football. Buffalo could go from being a dangerous team to an absolutely unstoppable force. There's talk that offensive coordinator Joe Brady has already begun sketching new play concepts designed specifically for Hill's unique skill set. Motion-heavy schemes, jet sweeps, deep crossers, the possibilities are endless. And that's before you even factor in Allen's ability to extend plays. If this rumor holds true, we might be witnessing the birth of one of the most dynamic duos in NFL history. Of course, not everyone is convinced this move would automatically guarantee success. Critics point to potential chemistry issues, cap constraints, and the pressure that comes with massive expectations. They remind fans that super teams don't always deliver. Sometimes egos clash, sometimes systems misfire, and sometimes the hype just becomes too heavy. But in Buffalo's case, the culture might be what makes it all work. The Bills have built something special over the last few seasons. A locker room defined by grit, unity, and a genuine love for the game. TYREEK Hill, for all his flash and fire, has shown that when he's in the right environment, his impact is immeasurable. If he buys into the culture and commits to the collective mission, there's no ceiling for what this team could achieve. And that's what has fans so excited. It's not just about talent, it's about timing. This feels like the perfect storm, the moment when everything aligns for Buffalo to finally take that final step to glory. And what about the Dolphins? If this rumor becomes reality, Miami's entire offensive identity could be thrown into chaos. Losing Tyreek Hill would be more than just losing a weapon. It would mean losing a heartbeat, a spark that made their system click. Tua Tagovailoa has thrived with Hill's speed, creating space and fear. And without that element, defenses could close in faster. The ripple effect would be massive. Suddenly, the AFC East wouldn't just belong to the Bills. It would be their kingdom. You can already sense the tension rising in Miami. Fans there are angry, confused, even heartbroken. Some are blaming the front office for letting things reach this point, while others think Hill's chase for a championship ring just became his top priority. Either way, this storyline has turned the AFC East into the most dramatic division in football. Rivalries that were already heated are now molten hot, and if the season kicked off tomorrow, every matchup would feel like a playoff game. Before we dive back in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest Buffalo Bills updates straight to your screen. And hey, don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. One of the most intriguing elements of this whole saga is how it might change the way players approach free agency moving forward. If Tyreek Hill truly made the decision to join Buffalo, it's not just about money. It's about legacy. It's about recognizing a window of opportunity and chasing greatness while it's still open. The Bills have come so close for years, but there's always been that one missing piece, that one spark that could push them over the edge. Hill might see himself as that spark, the guy who turns near misses into unforgettable triumphs. That's what makes this rumor so compelling. It's not just a transaction. It's a potential turning point in football history. And in an era where loyalty often takes a back seat to business, seeing a player of Hill's caliber make a move for pure football glory would be a statement in itself. It's the kind of story that transcends stats and contracts. It's about rewriting destiny. As the hours tick by, the anticipation only grows. Every insider tweet, every cryptic emoji, every source close to the situation just adds more fuel to the fire. Bills Mafia is already preparing for the announcement, and you can practically hear the tables shaking in Buffalo as fans gear up for what could be the wildest celebration in years. Whether this turns out to be fact or just one of those off-season fever dreams, one thing's for sure. It's captured the imagination of the entire football world. The idea of Tyreek Hill catching bombs from Josh Allen in a snowstorm feels like something out of a video game, but sometimes the NFL really does deliver movie moments. If this becomes official, it won't just be the biggest signing in Bills history. It'll be the start of a new era. And if not, well, it's still one of the juiciest, most electrifying rumors we've ever seen. Either way, Buffalo just became the center of the football universe. As the narrative continues to unfold, the anticipation surrounding CeeDee Lamb's debut for the Buffalo Bills seems almost impossible to contain, with every new report, rumor, and insider comment fueling an ever-growing sense of excitement. Fans speculate on how quickly he will adapt, how spectacular his first touchdowns might be, and whether his presence alone could propel the team deep into the playoffs. Analysts debate the nuances of offensive schemes, route combinations, and defensive adjustments, creating a rich tapestry of speculation that captivates audiences far beyond Buffalo. The cultural, financial, and psychological impact of this signing has created a phenomenon that extends well beyond the football field, turning Lamb into a figure of national attention and a focal point of sports conversation. Social media platforms are flooded with highlights, reaction videos, and predictive analyses, reflecting the collective obsession with every possible outcome. Rumors about team chemistry, coaching adjustments, and game day heroics continue to circulate, intensifying the anticipation for what promises to be a historic season. In this whirlwind of excitement, speculation, and expectation, one thing is abundantly clear. CeeDee Lamb is not merely a player joining a team. He is the embodiment of Buffalo's ambition, the catalyst for a new era, and a symbol of a franchise poised to redefine itself on the national stage in pursuit of glory, recognition, and perhaps the ultimate prize in professional football. That's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay on top of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you in the next update.